dropping a few. Think if I call it the great, the people gon' call it the truth. I ain't really trip on the credit, I just paid all of my dues. I just respected the game, now my name all in the news.
Yeah.
After they're talking about, oh yeah, like they got Adrian Peterson back within like a 7 to 8 month span compared to a 12 to 13 month ACL span.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes back and wins the Russian title of the year, MVP of the year.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, that's just Adrian Peterson. But then as I start moving forward with athletic training, then I get the opportunity, fast forward 4 or 5 years later, I get the opportunity to go be a part of that staff as an intern. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. There's the award for NFL Athletic Trainer of the Year the same year that Adrian won all those awards. Adrian goes ahead and donates a free HydroWorks pool to the athletic trainer staff because he wanted to show them the appreciation that he had.
For sure.
That's big. You know, it's things
that
like that.
Huge.
Because it's like those are the type of tools that help them get everybody else better. That help them get everybody else back. Look at Dalvin Cook right now. You know, they got the tools. They fully have the tools right there. And it's like, I didn't realize, like, wow, like, that was really historic. That was fully historic.
It was.
Because AP is now, Adrian Peterson, I mean, he's about to be voted as top running back of the 100-year NFL span. And it's like, that athletic training staff played a major role in it.
For sure.
You know? And I didn't understand it. It's crazy because, like, I was so ignorant to it as a youngster. But once you start seeing it come to life in front of you, it's like, wow. Like, fully, it's like, wow. You know, It's just like the same thing, seeing Teddy Bridgewater make that comeback right now.
Right.
Seeing what he went through, and I was there, like, it's amazing, like, to just see it. You know, a bunch of media.
You were on that staff,
A bunch of media, everybody was saying that he was never going to play again. Everybody was saying, no, he's never going to play again. But I knew that the work was being put in, that he was going to make a comeback. Not just from his standpoint, but from, you know, sports medicine staff standpoint. Like, now look at him, you know?
For sure.
And that's just what's so crazy. It's like, wow. Like, it's just so much more to it. And just to capitalize on everything that you're saying, you know, that too many people have that, all right, cool. What's my plan B?
Yeah.
You know, what's my plan B? And it's just funny. I mean, I love my mom to death, like, fully. Like, you know, that's another part of my motivation. You know, main motivation is definitely for my mom. You know, she did everything she could. She worked 3 jobs, still went to school, and that's why I still bust my behind every single day. I put in the work, mainly just to make sure she keeps a smile on her face, you know? And what's crazy is that, you know, my mom was always the first one to, like, say, yo, execute plan A, execute plan A, execute plan A. But then there was a time where, like, you know, I always go to her for reassurance when I was in transition.
Right.
You know, I'm not sure how to make my next move. Should I be an intern again? Should I take whatever? Should I do this? Should I do that? And there was a time where she was like, well, what if that doesn't work? And I was like, what? I was like, nah, we executing plan A, ma. Off the go. I was like, in no disrespectful way, we are executing plan A. And she texted me later, and she was like, I'm not going to lie, I was tripping because I forgot who my son was. Execute plan A.
Right.
And plan A continuously worked, you know?
Like you say, the marathon continues. And I want to talk about what you always say. You always say the marathon continues. Rest in peace to the late, great Nip, right? But,
oh, yeah, of course.
You know,
of course.
Here's what people have to realize. And I had to realize this too. We spend a lot of our times looking at other people's success and what other people have achieved and what other people are doing.
Yeah.
Well, if we take a moment to step back and we just focus on ourselves, our why, our marathon.
Yes.
Right? We position ourselves in a better position. Everybody has to run their own race. Some people's race is a lot shorter than a lot of people. A lot of people's races takes a little bit longer. Some people's races faster. Everybody has to run their race. It's really not about, you know, how you get there. And just as long as you get there.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah, that's it.
There were some people that were fortunate enough to be born with born with a little bit of an advantage. right? Whether it be financial. But if you have that mentality of woe is me, of I can't accomplish that, of whoa. Like, how do you break a cycle? How do you break a trend? You just say, "Oh, it's gonna happen." No, you stay 10 toes down, right?
Fully.
You and you make it happen. You work.
Yeah.
You can't keep saying that this is gonna change. Eventually it's gonna happen. Eventually I'm gonna experience some success. Yeah. You gotta be the person that wants to seek the change. You gotta be the person who wants to seek the success. You can't just wait around for it to happen.
Too many people wait around for it.
Nothing great happened to anybody standing on the sidelines.
Anybody. And that's the whole thing. So many people wait for it, or they want it handed to them. Like, I'm gonna quote Drake real quick. Like how he said in the beginning, I'm on one, he says, and what's up with the new ones and why they think it all comes so easy. You know? Too many people want the handouts. Too many people want everybody to put them on. You know? And there's never a problem of passing the word along, but it's like, you stamp your name on somebody else and they don't do it correctly or how it should be, then how does that make you look?
Correct.
And that's why I'm coming to it. And, I trust me, the main thing, like I spoke about in the last one that we had to talk with, bro, is I stopped measuring success off of being at the super top, Too many times, I hear young athletic trainers, and I was there too. Like, I was the one that was like, man, like, I'm not going to be where I'm satisfied at until I'm NFL this, NFL that. But, and regardless, like, I know that there's going to be an opportunity in the future where I'm back there, or I'm at a head athletic trainer at an FBS, just like almost like now. And the whole thing is, I stopped measuring my success off of that, and I've been telling, like, a lot of, like, youngins coming up, because I'm like, at the end of the day, I feel good and I feel great because, could you make things move? Like, could you make things move? Like, could you step into a room full of high professionals and they respect you to the most high?
Preach.
Could you?
Preach.
Like, could you really step into a room full of high professionals and NATA, National Athletic Trainer Hall of Famers, and they respect you?
It almost brings me back to what Barry Sanders said.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders, you go look at all of his highlight clips. You go watch all of his tapes.
Yeah.
And you'll notice a lot of rushing yards when you watch his tape. You'll notice him scoring a lot.
Yeah.
There's one thing that nobody realizes though. What happens when he gets to the end zone? He doesn't celebrate.
No.
He goes about his business like he's been there before.
Yeah.
And I think everybody can take something away from that. If you act like you've been there before, right? I always tell my guys when they go to interviews, and they're typically a lot of young guys because that's the way I want my company to be geared towards. I want it to be geared towards a lot of people. But guess what? People only question your age when you carry yourself like you're young. People only question.
That's it.
But if you act like you've been there before, when you never get too high, you never get too low, but you stay even keeled.
Yep.
I always say that. I live my life by that. I never get too high. I never get too low. I'm always in the middle, even keeled. Yeah. I try to never let anyone get me out of
that
who I am. Out of that zone. Exactly. And I tell them, act like you've been there before.
That's
when you get an interview, when I tell people this all the time, when you get an interview, clearly there was something that someone saw in that paper about you that they liked, right?
Yeah.
So when you go in for that interview, when you go in for that meeting, command that room. Have that commanding presence. Because just as well as you're interviewing for that job, you're interviewing them as to why you should work there. Because clearly they need your services too, or else there wouldn't be a hiring sign up on their door or on their internet or on their website. And people don't realize that. People put these people on a pedestal in life, and they don't realize that they can accomplish a lot of things too if they held themselves to a higher standard. Think highly of yourself. Think highly of yourself. In anything, in any situation, I tell people this all the time. I've been around so many different athletes.
Of
and
course.
This is God's
Yeah.
I've met so many different athletes. I've interviewed so many different athletes. Athletes that I thank God that I've had the opportunity to be around. I've been around so many different professionals, so many different teams that I'm blessed to be around. NBA, UFC, NFL, you name it. I've been around, right? There's not too many athletes that I can meet right now that would really blow me away outside of probably a LeBron James and a Floyd Mayweather.
And I agree.
And but once again, and that's no disrespect to any other athlete. It's just a thing about you've been there before. I've getting into this industry, I tend to have a greater respect for the man, the woman, the person beyond the athletic ability.
Exactly.
And that brings me back to the quote LeBron came up with: more than an athlete. There's so much more than an athlete. The people that and you see the way sports sometimes chews people up and spits them out, right? I mean, you look at it like a person. You look at some of these guys that were superstars when we were growing up, when we were kids, when we were in elementary school.
Yeah.
Guys like Chris Johnson. You don't even hear them mentioned anymore. But we're gonna forget that this guy ran for 1,000 yards 6 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
This guy was absolutely a monster. And I'm just using him as an example. But there are so many athletes that I feel like are forgotten about. So many people in the past. And people say to me, Malik, why don't you get excited when you interview a Saquon Barkley or a Joe Mixon or this person or that person? Yeah. I say, you want to know something? Because I'm trying to interview that same exact person, that same exact athlete of that caliber 15 years from now, 20 years from now. But that only would happen if I didn't get complacent. You follow what I'm saying? That only happens if you don't get complacent. Now the rare talent guys that come along once in a blue moon, like a LeBron James, Floyd Mayweather, that's why I might get quote unquote starstruck, and that would only even last for a minute or so, and then I'm back to my normal self. But you have to have a great appreciation for your journey. Like we've said, you have to have a great appreciation for your journey. There's not a part in my life I know that I can look back at and I say I don't recognize what I've been through. Everything that I've been through, I hold everything that I've been through with me and to where I'm going, because it made me into the person that I am today. And I know I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot.
No, you're good. Like, see, the whole thing is that what I'm loving is that I was talking a lot the first time, and now, like, it's flip flop, because this is one where we already got the base of it. So now we both just understanding like what needs to be done and what has been done to where we got up to now. I mean, I'm telling you, like, I see it, and you be everywhere. And the one thing is, like, I've seen, in the NFL, I got friends that are with the media and whatnot. And like I said, like we just spoke about, everybody's marathon is different. You're over here and you understand fully. Yeah, I could have already had it, but I'm going to get it how I want to get it.
Right.
This is a different type of feeling that you get when you get it how you got it, when you get it under your circumstances, Like, I got and I could agree with that, and I can fully relate to you on that, because I got everything that I ever said I was going to get so far under my circumstances. Nobody dictated nothing to me.
Right.
Nobody dictated nothing to me. Nobody controlled my destiny. Nobody controlled my fate. Everything was in my hands.
Right.
Everything was in my hands. Fully.
Right.
Everything was in my hands. Everything that I made move. And I say this in a confident way, but in a humble way. Everything that I made move. Everything that I wanted to make happen, I made happen. Of course, I got mentors and I got colleagues and I got, people who are like brothers and everything, and family members that helped me out and guided me to it. And of course, like, stamped my name to it. But at the end of the day, somebody can stamp my name to it, but I still got to execute.
Right.
I still got to execute.
Right.
I done seen people get their name stamps and fumble. Seen them fumble. I've seen people get their name stamped and not live up to the hype.
Right.
At the end of the day, like, I got to handle it, I got to handle it. And that's the best part about it, because I control my fate, and there's never nothing wrong with it. And what's crazy is, like, I had my mom here a month ago for a game, and we happened to have another 4-quarter comeback that game. And it was her first time that she seen me, like, second in command with my boss. Both of us, just right up top. Anything that went down, I was right there next to him. You know,
Right.
because like I said, I was an intern. I had to sit back. I sat back for 3 years and learned the game before I could execute the game.
Right.
And a lot of things that come with this marathon is patience. Like, you need patience. You want to get to where you want to go, you need the patience.
Right.
Too many people want to rush it. There was times where I wanted to rush it. I got humbled by it. It's so funny because literally, like, my mentor, and he's almost like a huge family figure to me too, in Minnesota, the head athletic trainer there, like, sat me down and he was like, listen, man, it's not going to be easy. At the time I was 22 years old, he's like, it's not going to be easy.
Right.
You know, some people get it at 23 and are in the NFL for 10 years. Some people get it at 23 and are first assistant at an FBS or top notch for 10 years.
Right.
Everybody got to do it different. Everybody got to do it different. But he's like, nothing is entitled to you.
Right.
Nothing. You got to work for it. Sometimes it may be right place, right time, perfect timing. But at the end of the day, you just got to keep going, no matter where you at. You know, because I was, you know, at the time, I was trying to like maneuver, figure out where I want to go. Should I force a job? You know, should I force this? Should I force that? Or should I get what I actually want?
Right.
And now, fast forward, I'm standing here, we having this conversation, and I'm in an amazing position at what I wanted to be, where I wanted to be, at the right timeline of it, you know?
Correct.
And sometimes I really sit back at it, and my boss right now, amazing guy too, you know, we chop it up a lot. You know, at the end of the day, it's like, he constantly reminds me, he's like, yo, you're a first assistant. Like, first assistant. Like, there's people your age who are older than you that are third and fourth assistants, and you're a first assistant.
Right.
That's next man up. That's next man up. He's like, if I'm out the room, you in charge.
Right.
If I send you to represent me somewhere, you in charge.
Right.
You know, and that's one thing, you know, I know I elaborated on, you know, a bunch of past experiences last time because I was only 2 weeks into this job.
Correct.
But fast forward to now, and it's one of the best decisions I made, you know, because this is what I needed. I got people around me who got the same type of goals and more. I got a director of sports medicine named Dan who literally dials this thing up like he's Colonel Nick Fury. You know, bringing the Avengers together.
For sure.
And I got a boss named Nick who literally lights a fire under me that is crazy.
Right.
He's just passionate and wants the best for people who want to go and get it.
Correct.
He's a go-getter the same way, if not even more. You know, and it's just amazing. You know, I got a co-assistant as well named Theo who's the same age as me, and we both just want to go get it.
Right.
You know, and it's just amazing to have everybody around that. You know, because when it cooks up and the stove is just boiling, there's no stopping it. The cultural impact that we made here so far, amazing. The clinician impact that we made here so far, amazing. Coach is literally praising us left and right on how we just getting people back left and right. Yeah, we got a couple people that's down, but compared to where it was last year, 1,000 times better. Coach literally came up to us and was like, last year, it was crazy how we're at FBS school and we didn't have a head athletic trainer, but now we got 6, and you got an ATPT as well. You know, and
but
it's crazy.
That goes to the standard that you guys set for yourself going in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, if you look at my Instagram, I have these 4 C's that I live by. It's clear, concise, consistent communication. Right, and make sure everybody's on the same page. As long as the message is clear, it's concise, it's condensed to the point. It's not giving people a lot of information, but you're giving them a lot in few short words. It's clear and it's consistent from the head to all the way to the bottom.
Fully.
You know, and you're communicating it properly. Those are words that I live by. You know what I mean? So I think that the biggest. So I'm going to ask you this final question.
Go ahead.
What would be your advice? Because, you know, hundreds of people are going to see this video.
Of course.
What would be your advice to those people watching this about their marathon and staying motivated and, you know, keeping on because I think people confuse confidence with being cocky sometimes.
Of course. Yes.
But you have to have
line, but you got to know it.
You have to have that. You have that certain air about you. Nobody wants someone that's not confident. Like, think about if you didn't have a confident doctor, if you didn't have a doctor that didn't know he was doing, you wouldn't trust him to have surgery on you, you know, do surgery on you. You know, if you didn't have a confident, you know, person directing traffic, for instance, you wouldn't be confident in driving out there.
Of course.
Everybody, you know, has a comfort level with someone who's confident in their job. Because think about it, if you weren't confident in your job, if you weren't confident in your capabilities, probably won't last longer. You probably wouldn't, you know, achieve everything that you have achieved. And I'm not talking about this person, I'm talking about people in general, right? So what are your thoughts on that? What is your words of wisdom, your word of advice to people that are going to be watching this video?
My words of wisdom to maintain being motivated is, number one, in all caps, put as many million exclamation points after saying this. Do not get comfortable at all. You want to stay motivated, you can't get comfortable. You can't be comfortable. Next, consistency. Full on consistency. You need to be consistent. My boss was just telling me today, like, hey, you know, the main thing he always want myself and everybody else doing is just be consistent with the amount of how we execute.
Right.
You know? We execute at a high standard, at a high pace, and you know, we enjoy it, and it's amazing at what we brewed up, and it's amazing at what we're doing, and it's an amazing staff and amazing situation. But he's like, we can never get comfortable and stay consistent.
Right.
Fully. And you know, next, I'm just gonna say, you know, you gotta find your why. Just like we spoke about. You gotta find that why. No matter what, you gotta find that why. Why are you doing this? Why? Every time I post my mom, I always say, yo, this is my why. Like, I seen her bust her behind for 3 jobs to put me through good schooling. You know, I seen her really make so many sacrifices, not just for myself, but for so many other family members, and still keep it going.
Right.
You know, I didn't see us have to move several times because things were getting hectic in the poverty that we was living in. You know, I didn't see her constantly try to keep me on the right track to make sure I didn't go left.
Right.
How easy it could have been to go left in the environment and the surroundings. You know, how easy it could have been. But she said, no, I'm going to keep you on the right track. The amount of times that I want to give up, she's like, nah, you're not going to give up. She said, I didn't give up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The times where you know, there was nights where she would sacrifice her meal to make sure that I ate. You know, the nights where that she had to not be able to pay the light bill just to make sure that I would still be able to go to class the next day. You know what I'm saying? It's things like that. Like, that's my main reason why. And that's all honesty. Right. You know? No matter what. That's my first, foremost, highlight it, capitalize it, do what you need to do, bold it, italicize it. Robin Payton, my mother, is the main reason why. Right. I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go get it for her. There's plenty of times. Like, and, you know, Nip said it best in the interview, like, it's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster. It's not easy what you're going to get. There's going to be days where you're mad. There's going to be days when you up. There's going to be days when you down. There's going to be days when it's like, man, forget all of this. It's an emotional roller coaster. But what you going to do? Not quit. I ain't quit. My mom didn't quit. So that's my why. I got people around me who didn't quit. Right. You know? And that's the main thing. You need people around you who's going to go get it.
Right.
You're going to need people around you who's going to go keep going.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, if you got people around you putting negative stuff out there and constantly not wanting to elevate themselves, and what you're doing, you're only as good as the circle and the people that you keep around you.
Say that one more time. One more time.
You're only as good as the people in the circle that you keep around you.
Right.
And that's true, because it's just the truth. Like, there's people that had to be cut off because they wasn't understanding, like, what we was trying to do here. There's people that had to be cut off, like, simply because, all right, well, you doing your thing, but, like, you just not on the same type of time, and I wish you much success, but, like, you just can't be around each other too much no more. You know? And that's just what it is. Fully. And that's just what it is, man. And once people understand that, then we good. Once people understand that, we straight.
You took the words out of my mouth. Everything that I was going to say, man. You know, everybody can't be at the table. Everybody can't eat with you at the table. You could respect
everybody
people.
Can't eat at the table. That's the whole thing. And everybody wants to, but it's like, yo, like, what you gonna bring? You know, what you gonna bring? And it's not even more sense. I got friends who's not athletic trainers. It's like,
it's not a thing about being in the same field.
Not athletic trainers. Yeah,
it's mentality. It's the mentality. If you can find yourself, I'm being honest with you. I find myself these days spending a little bit more time with myself.
I respect it.
And the people that I do spend time with, they've got to be big thinkers. They got to be
Yes.
big thinkers, and they've got to have big goals. You know what I mean?
Goals.
And like I said, that's not to say that we're not friendly if you don't have big goals, but the point of where I am in my life, like I tell everybody, everybody always says next year. We're already planning. We got the wheels in motion. I put something up today on my Instagram. I said, listen, if you want something, jot it down, right? Make it a clear goal that you're going to go after, and you go after it, right? But don't tell yourself in 2020, January 1st, I'm going to start. January 1st, I'm going to do this. Listen, that's the biggest lie everybody tells themselves, right?
Yeah.
You've got to have clear goals. And your goals have to be between you and you. They've got to be between you and you. Sure, you can tell people, but at the end of the day, that's a silent commitment that you have to make with yourself. And you have to hold yourself to that high standard. As long as you hold yourself to that high standard, you'll be all right. But it's when you tell yourself, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and you don't put the wheels in motion, right? Listen, if you don't, a dream. I said at the beginning of this, a dream without a plan is just that.
It's your dream.
It's just a dream because you didn't put the wheels in motion. I said, listen, before I even thought about becoming a CEO of a sports network, I said, listen. I'm gonna build up my brand. I'm gonna have one of the most listened to sports podcasts on the East Coast, and we did that. Yeah. And I said I wanted to I'm gonna start my own company, and immediately we started our own company, launched our website within 2 months, about to launch the app this upcoming summer. Wheels are in motion. We didn't just sit on the sideline. We got these interviews, and we've interviewed Tiger. There's so many different things that we've done, right? And people say how, right? People say why, how. I attribute a lot of it to my faith, but I also attribute a lot to the work that we put in, right? We didn't sit on the sideline. We're always trying to get our hands into something new. Yeah. We're not set in our ways. We're always willing to adapt and change with the time. So my biggest advice to everyone else is block out the noise. Ignore the noise. You're going to have people that tell you
just
that
like
you can't
said,
do
block
this.
out the noise. Block out the fear. You got to shut the fear up.
False evidence appearing real.
Yes, you got to shut the fear up. Block out all the noise. Block out all the negativity. And the one thing that was crazy is the fact that sometimes you can't tell. Like you got to understand who you could chat with about like being a big thinker, being a goals. Like because some people are gonna look at your goals and get scared, and the first defense mechanism they're gonna say, "Don't you think that's too much?" You know how many people I like? There was sometimes I had to realize that. I'm like, they're like, yeah, like, what's your long-term goal? I'm like, long-term goal, I want to be a head athletic trainer for FBS or NFL. You sure?
Don't you think that's a lot?
Sure. Don't you think that's like kind of a reach?
Let me ask you a question.
Have a nice day.
Let me ask you a question.
Have a nice day. Yo.
Was Apple too big of a reach for Steve Jobs?
Absolutely not.
Was Amazon too big of a reach for
Absolutely
Jeff Bezos?
Not.
Right? Was Disney too big of a reach for Walt Disney?
Absolutely not.
And let me tell you something else, though, guys. And I'll be very, very clear when I say this. Sometimes, just because you're not reaping the benefits immediately does not mean you won't reap the benefits 10 years from now, 20 years from now. I think, like you said, a lot of this game is having patience. People aren't patient. People don't understand that. Great things sometimes take time, right? You look at, and it's so easy to get frustrated. You got all these social media stars. You got so many different people on social media experience success just because a video went viral, and they do these TikTok things or whatever the case may be. It's so easy to get down on yourself and say, why can't that happen for me? True. Run your marathon. Run your race.
That's it. Man.
You're only in competition with yourself. Don't let anybody tell you anything else. You're in competition with yourself. The only person you should be trying to beat is the person you were yesterday, the person you were last year. That's who you should be trying to beat every single day. Challenge yourself to new heights. I don't compare myself to anybody. I got friends who drive around in Porsches, and I don't say anything. I say, listen, go get it, man. You go get it. I'm happy for your success. I'm happy for your success. Because guess what? I know eventually I'm going to get mine. I know eventually I'm going to be there. That's all that matters. Eventually we're going to sit down and we're going to laugh about where we come from because we all have a story. We all have a story. But guess what? It feels a little different when you grind for what you got. It feels a little different when you grind for what you got. There's something that nobody can take away from you when you say, I got this on my own. I did what I had to do.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
run your race, run your marathon. Understand that it is a marathon.
Yeah.
Not a sprint.
Yeah.
You got to go and get it how you're going to get it.
Exactly.
Guess what? Life, nobody ever said life was going to be like, this is my goal, I'm going to get right to it. There are going to be twists. There are going to be peaks. There are going to be valleys. There are going to be different things that are going to test your drive and test you and test you as a person, as an individual. It's up to you. It's between you and you. Like Ray Lewis said, success and effort is between you and you. At the end
you and you. That's it.
Between you and you. It's a commitment. It's a silent commitment between you and you. You make the choice every single day. If you're going to get up out of bed and you're going to say, this is what I want to achieve, you make the decision every single day. If you want to, wake up or you want to call out of work, you make that choice. It's a silent commitment between you and yourself. Never settle, never be comfortable with good enough, because it's not good enough at the end of the day. There's always somebody out there working twice as hard as you. When you don't think that there is, that's a lie that you're telling yourself. I heard Denzel Washington say, don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of failure. And if you fail forward, fall forward, fail forward, right?
That's all that
matters. Fall back. That's why I don't believe in fallback options, because when you fall back, that means you fall back, literally.
There's no plan B.
There's no plan B. Tell yourself there's a plan A. I go after that plan A. You strive for it. Strive for greatness. Run your marathon. Run your race. And at that, Lionel, I want to thank you so much.